Hello, my loves, and of course, welcome back to an episode of Embracing Power and Potential. I hope you have all had the best start to your 2026. Energetically, the year hasn't actually started. I start my new year on March the 20th every year because energetically, that is when the new year starts, but that is a conversation for a whole nother day. I actually might make an episode about it. So stay tuned for that. But let's get in the episode for today. Welcome, listeners, to Embracing Power and Potential, your go-to podcast where we travel through the realms of personal growth, mindset mastery, and fear-conquering strategies to help achieve your greatest desires. I'm your host, Portia, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this transformative experience. If you're ready to unleash your authentic power and elevate your life, you're in the right place. Join me and our special guests as we embark on conversations that will broaden your horizons and enrich your journey. So, sit back and immerse yourself in these unmatched discussions. It's time to expand your mind and your life. So I want to talk about the importance of consistency today. Because if motivation worked, we'd all already have the bodies, the businesses, the bank accounts, and the routines that we all say that we want. So the problem isn't motivation, it's consistency. I bet you've been there because I have as well. When you start things, you get really excited. Maybe you start going for a run every day or starting to work on a new project. And you've got all this motivation and you're so keen and you're so good for the first few weeks. And then you sort of die off. And then your new habit is non-existent. That's why people start things but never stick to them. These diets or working out every day or 5 times a week, whatever it is. This is where discipline comes into play. Discipline feels hard at first. It always does, but it does get easier over time. Because every time that you are consistent with these new habits, you are creating your new identity and the new person that you want to be. So I want to share this episode of how we can build consistency in a way that feels rewarding and not punishing. Most people associate discipline with restriction or pressure or deprivation, having to sacrifice yourself. And that's why we rebel against it. You feel like that you have to miss out on certain parts of your life or sacrifice hanging out with your friends to go to the gym. This is where we have to reframe discipline as self-trust, as future self-care, and keeping promises to yourself, because that is the most important thing. And of course, your life it is all about balance. Spending quality time with your friends and family, of course, is important. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that and be a psycho and just have these crazy routines and don't have any sort of fun or social life. But discipline is just choosing what you want the most over what you want now, without making yourself miserable in the process. And I think that consistency matters way more than intensity. For example, say if you wanted to start going to the gym and you want to go all in for 5 days and you go every day, you're motivated, 5 days and you're done, and then you disappear for 3 weeks and you just don't go. And then you do it again and you go every day for 5 days, and then you don't go the next week at all. Because extremes especially so fast, lead to burnout. Whereas consistency compounds, no matter how small it is. I like to say doing 1% every day. It doesn't have to be major, just something small, but doing that every single day, that is what builds real results. And this is the thing, you don't see the results at the start or very minimal. And that's why consistency is so hard, because you feel like that it's not paying off. But small actions done daily always beat the big actions that are done just occasionally or once a week until you fall off. For example, if you have one healthy week, you go for one 10-minute walk every day. That's it. Not going to the gym every day, not doing anything crazy and changing all of your diets and doing everything all at once. Just going for a 10-minute walk once a day, every day. And repeating that healthy week 10 times is way more powerful than one perfect week of eating all the right foods and going for a walk, going to the gym, and then quitting because it's just too much and it's not sustainable. For example, in my life, dropping one podcast episode a week instead of making 10 and just like doing them randomly and batch recording them all at once and then being burnt out and not wanting to do it. So consistency can be boring, but that's why it works, because it doesn't burn you out. It's not extreme and it's sustainable. And this is a part that a lot of people skip when it comes to discipline and consistency. But rewarding yourself after discipline. Because we are humans. The human brain is wired to learn from reward. If discipline feels like constant deprivation of your needs and your life, then your nervous system will actually resist it. So instead of feeling like you can't do anything or eat any sweet treats again or have an unhealthy day, reframe how you are being consistent. So you'll say maybe no sweet treats during the week, but that means you've got a planned sweet treat or whatever it is for you. For me, it's a little sweet treat, a little dosey if you are from Adelaide and you know. They're like an acai bowl with like pistachio sauce. Oh, it's just everything. And that is my go-to treat. So choose something that works for you, that actually excites you, and plan to have that at the end of the week. Once you have gone for the 10-minute walk every day, or just simply not eating shit during the week, you allow yourself to have a treat. Another example is hitting your workouts. If you go to the gym consistently, whatever it is that you set for yourself every day after work for three days a week or 5 days a week, treat yourself to some new activewear. Go take yourself on a coffee date or wake up on Sunday and have a slow morning because you've gone hard this week. And you deserve to celebrate yourself and reward yourself even for the smallest things. And this one, definitely relatable for me. And it's so simple. Just knowing that you've shown up consistently. Just doing the things, and you know when you have, because it actually, your energy changes and you feel good about yourself. You don't feel depleted. You know that you have kept your promises that you made to yourself. And it's a beautiful feeling, actually, when content, I guess, would be the word, when you feel accomplished and you're like, oh, I fucking did that. Then you should allow yourself to rest without guilt. And another thing that I just want to preface here is the rewards shouldn't They should support your identity, the person that you want to be, your higher self. And these rewards shouldn't sabotage it. So, for an example, if you say, oh, I've been so good all week, now I can go out and drink and go out and party. I'm not saying don't drink or don't do anything, but just don't self-sabotage your new identity that you have been creating, because it's so easy to just fall back to old habits and old patterns. So you don't reward consistency by undoing it, you reward it by reinforcing it. So, a system to track your consistency using practical tools over just motivation is writing the to-do list, and keep it realistic. Do not write 10 different things for your morning routine and then your day, because too many tasks will just create overwhelm for your mind and you probably will get less done. So instead, choose 3 to 5 non-negotiables max per day. And always do the most challenging thing first. Get the hardest, most time-consuming thing done first. And honestly, it just makes everything else easier that day. You already are on a higher vibration, you're feeling accomplished. And then you may even be able to just get some extra shit done too. But anyway, on a tangent there. Ticking things off is so important because it actually creates a dopamine hit. It's visual proof of your progress, and your brain loves this. And this builds self-trust. It's so satisfying, even if you stick it on your mirror or have it next to your bedside table or your desk, anywhere that's like a main point for you in your house or your office, wherever, and make sure you tick off everything that you're doing. And the 3 things, obviously, you choose your important things that you need to get done, or you could base your 3 like one bare minimum task. So getting your grocery shopping done, or just moving your body, or meditating as a bare minimum. And then 1 stretch task. So something that may be a little more time consuming, like food prepping for your week or recording and editing my podcast. And then 1 nice if it happens task. So this is something that you'd like to get done, if you happen to have enough time in your day. Maybe it's reading for a half an hour, FaceTiming your nan, or something that you need to do, but it's not like urgent. And then creating your non-negotiables. So non-negotiables are your non-mood-based choices. You have to decide in advance what you do regardless of your mood. So example, I move my body for 10 minutes daily, even if it's gentle. Or another relatable example I wrote down is I show up online once a week, even if it's imperfect. Because let's think about it. You don't have to think about how you feel about brushing your teeth. You just do it because it's just a part of your conditioning habits. That's how consistency should feel. So this is a reminder to track your consistency as well, and not perfection. So using habit trackers, just simple ticking lists and systems, and weekly check-ins, maybe writing your top 3 goals for the week and just reflecting every week, because self-reflection is so important. If you don't reflect on what you're doing and who you're being, nothing will change, because you will be unconscious and just in autopilot and unaware of what's actually happening. And also, just a little reminder before we end today is if you have missed days, they aren't a failure. I like to set a rule. You never miss 2 days in a row. It's okay to miss 1 day, but then you go the next day. You never miss 2 days in a row. quitting is the failure. So consistency isn't never missing, it's just never quitting. And we always think, oh, we're feeling motivated, now we take action. However, it's actually the other way around. You take action and then you feel more motivated to keep doing that, because action creates momentum, and then momentum creates motivation. That's why waiting to feel ready never happens, and that's what keeps you stuck. So act now and feel that pump. Let your action motivate you to keep doing more, to keep being that better version of yourself that you fucking love. Because I know that's how I feel. Consistency isn't about willpower. It's about who you see yourself as. Who are you choosing to be? Who are you showing up as today? Because when you become someone who shows up, even imperfectly, that's when consistency stops being hard and it becomes your true nature. It becomes who you are at your core, your identity. So, to end the episode, I just want to finish with one small question that you can ask yourself, or even write it down and journal about it. If you're not near a pen and paper right now, you can write it down in the notes in your phone so you can come back to it later. What is one small promise that you can keep to yourself this week? Just one. I'm also going to link a book that I just bought for myself in the show notes. It's Atomic Habits, but it's a workbook version. So I've read the book, now I'm working through sort of the activities. So you should join me to do that and start our 2026 off knowing who the fuck we want to be and showing up as that. Love you so much. I hope you have the best week. I hope you show up for yourself this week and keep that one promise to yourself. Start something to create this new identity. One small thing, and do it every day. Love you, and we'll speak in the next episode. Bye. Mwah.